Exile. My name is Phil, and Games Workshop have dropped the contents for Warhammer Kill Team Into the Dark. Regular viewers of the channel, or if you've actually been keeping your ear to the ground with Games Workshop, you may recall that this is a Space Hulk style version of Warhammer Kill Team. It features two kill teams. One is a Recruit Kill Band, I think they're called, and the other are Imperial Navy Breachers. So without further ado, shall we get into the nitty gritty of exactly what we're going to get when we buy it? So that's our first impression picture, which is a full game in progress style shot, I guess. You can see the Sector Imperialis style gaming board. You can see the walls, which I'm quite impressed with. You get a lot of wall tiles, which makes it feel like you are actually fighting through a map with doors and, you know, separate rooms. You get your two kill teams. You could just about make out the crew and the breachers, but we will get a much better look at those in a moment. So it contains absolutely everything you need to get stuck into the best sci-fi skirmish game in the galaxy, including the rules, the terrain, the tokens, the cards, combat gauges, dice, 24 miniatures, making up two complete kill teams. I'm quite excited by this, I'll be honest, because everything looks quite new, except for the little crates, but I'll forgive them the little crates. I'm not going to look at the video. If you want to, by all means, pop into the Warhammer community webpage and have a look for yourselves. So, but what we really want to look at are these. So the miniatures that we're going to get. So what are you going to get? You're going to get Imperial Navy Breachers. And they appear to be armed with a combination of sort of like a bolt pistol. She's also got a sword. That I think is a style of shotgun. That looks very much like a fireman's axe, doesn't it? It looks completely like a steampunk fireman. That's my opinion of that anyway. It's the bigger shotgun. We've seen this before with the ejection shell. So he's obviously controlling the little robot, the cat. I wonder what the cat's armed with. This must be some sort of door opening laser or something along those lines. Oh, we've got heavy weapons, look. We haven't seen this before. Not sure what that is. I actually genuinely don't know what that weapon is. It looks like it's a variation on a las gun to me, the front of it, but it's fed by power cables with what looks like a rotary barrel. Some sort of auto las rifle, maybe. This is a heavy shotgun with a breacher shield. We've seen this model before. I like this model. Actually, really like this model, weirdly. We've got another guy in control of a servo skull. That's also pretty cool. They've painted that display incredibly carefully. Look at that. I can't paint that well. But then again, Games Workshop don't employ me to paint their miniatures for display purposes and sales, do they? Explosive expert? Those are grenades, and that's sort of an extra piece of body armour. So they're a demolitions expert, I think. And they're a close quarters combat expert with a saw. Now that saw ostensibly is probably for cutting through doors and such like on the Space Hulk, because they are breachers, therefore their job is to breach other ships. But I bet your life it's got combat rules, and that's what you'll end up using it for. And we're back to the beginning. So these are, I believe, I could be wrong, and by all means correct me in the comments if I am, these are the first Imperial Navy type troops we've got. I'm really interested to see whether Games Workshop turn these into an actual new faction, or if they're just going to be in this box set and almost forgotten, a bit like the Galapox were in the previous style box set we got for the previous version of Kill Team, which is almost directly comparable to this set. But there they are. They're the breachers. I quite like them. I think they're a good set of miniatures. As always with Games Workshop, you can see where the design influences have come from. These are very much, very slightly sort of steampunk-esque, early diving suits, firefighting style sets of armour. Diving suits in space, effectively. It's a geese skull, apparently, not a servo skull. And then you have the Farstalker kin band. So we have the crew. The Farstalker kin bands range far and wide across the galaxy looking for fresh strains of beneficial genetic material to bring back to their shapers. These look pretty cool, actually, I have to admit. Again, Games Workshop are probably at the zenith of their game when it comes to modelling. If they get better, I don't know how they're going to get better, but their models are just sublime. So we'll look at a few more. This bow is very interesting. It's more like a harpoon. If they had some rope, in fact I would believe it was a harpoon. They've got some sort of rifle, but they're drawing their pistol. Huge sniper rifle. Again, this is the same sort of rifle as the previous one's got. Crew hound. Anti-combat specialist. So you can see with Kill Team, and if you've played it and have seen some of the rules, you know that certain members of your team will have certain roles. So you'll have hand-to-hand combat, you'll have snipers, you'll have heavy weapon specialists, you'll have demolition specialists, you'll have, I think, medics and commanders as well. And you can see instantly what these different miniatures are designed to represent within that team. He looks like another hunt. That's just great hunter, and that's a crew heavy weapon. It's an awesome looking weapon. I'll be interested to know what it does and even what it's called. I like the crew. There's another crew hound, and that's another sniper who's lost his leg. So he's got a very pirate-esque feel to them. Very nice, very detailed as always, and very, very well painted. This particular group earned the right to loot the Gallo Dark first, only to be left stranded when the Imperial Navy turned up and forced their war sphere to withdraw. Now they stalk the Space Hulk's corridors, seeking a means to escape. There are 12 miniatures in all, 10 Kroot, including the keen-eyed Kroot Tracker and her bird, and 2 loyal Kroot hounds. So this is the keen-eyed Kroot Tracker and her bird. Doesn't say what the bird is though. Then we get to the terrain, and this is probably the most interesting bit of it. And I suppose this terrain is kind of Necromunda-esque in that you've got this sort of square system in which you can sort of rearrange the terrain with pillars and walls. And you get a very good look at it here. You can see that they've made the 2 rooms up with 2 sort of protruding walls to block line of sight. The doors, I think, might well actually be hinged, because if you go back to other pictures you can see them open. That would be cool if they are properly hinged models. Maybe they just clip in. They do. Their doors there and there both look hinged. And these are the columns, I guess. And these are your little extra bits that plug into some of the holes. And it's all modular, so you can see it sort of plugs into each other. There you go. There's a clear picture of the door being open at the bottom. I am right. So yeah, it has really, really, really good modularity, which means you are going to be able to build these in a lot of ways. It makes me wonder if you'll get maps that you can build, like we did with Warcry originally. It says you get a massive collection of 54 individual parts in this box, and it's almost infinitely expandable, not least when the next set arrives 3 months later, bring with it a whole new set of compatible Space Hulk scenery. This is where Games Workshop is going with their products at the moment. So they're going to sell you this box set, and then they're going to sell you another box set, which is effectively expansion to this box set, probably with more kill teams in it, more scenery, so you can build up. In this case, I actually quite like that idea. Maybe this could turn into being what I kind of wished Blackstone Fortress was, which didn't really turn out to be that great. You do get the rulebook, and you get a specific Into the Dark rulebook, which I presume has your army list in it, and also, as I say, maps and scenarios and that sort of thing, and possibly even some kind of campaign to play through, which could be quite nice. Let's see what it actually says. There are 2 rulebooks contained within this set. A 144-page Kill Team core book containing the full rule set and everything you need to know to fight fast-paced skirmishes in the 41st millennium, and Kill Team Into the Dark rules manual. The 120-page tome contains full kill zone and close quarters rules for scrapping in the confined spaces of the Gallo Dark, as well as 18 missions. There you go. 9 each for narrative and match play, plus a new type of campaign and all the rules and lore you need to play the 2 teams you get in the box. It also introduces the shadowy story of this mysterious Space Hulk, which I presume is going to play out over the next sort of 2 or 3 sets that they release. And then you get your gubbins. You get your tokens, You get your cards, you get your range rulers, and you get some dice. I do like the little orange dice. Nice departure from the white ones we get in the other sets. So you've got 85 double-sided tokens, 10 six-sided dice, 2 TAC Ops decks, each contains 27 cards, so what's that, 54 in total, and 1 double-sided game board to host all your bulkheads and barricades. That's interesting, it's double-sided, we've only seen one of them as well. That is pretty impressive. You're getting a board, I don't know the price of it, I'd have to look that up. You're getting the cards, the dice, you are literally getting everything to play the game, which is what makes I think I will buy this, because you can assemble the 2 sets, assemble the scenery and just play the games and then paint them up as you go along. Swap sides, and then hopefully in the later sets you'll get... The problem is I don't think you'll get expansions for these 2 units. I think what you'll get is different units to play with, which isn't such a bad thing. And I suppose you can always play this with stuff you've got from Octarius, which is sitting behind me. Yep, quite exciting. A lot in the box, as always with Games Workshop. They're good like that, especially with what is effectively a new starter box. They do pack a lot in. I'm quite excited. I'm going to try and get this, see how the money goes when it comes out, which I would think is not that too far in the distant future. And if I do, then I'll do an opening and have a look at how it plays, and probably try and play some games with my son. Thank you very much for watching Players in Exile. I've been Phil. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back next time.